Good morning, gentlemen, ladies. I hope that you're having a phenomenal start to what I'm sure is going to be an absolutely fantastic week. You're likely familiar with the old fable of the tortoise and the hare. Usually this story is told to convey the principle from the vantage point of the tortoise, who is intent on keeping or continuing to put one foot in front of the other with a determination that he would not give up. Fantastic lesson. It is a great lesson about endurance and about diligence. But have you ever thought of how the race might have turned out if the hare had not stopped to take a nap? Undoubtedly, the hare suffered from poor self-discipline. He had a lack of determination, but he still almost won the race while taking a half-hour siesta. The fact is, the hare started with such an exuberant, enthusiastic exhilaration that the race would have been a completely lopsided victory for him had he just simply continued on. Now, last week in our videos, we referenced the importance of having a solid foundation in order to have a great start. And then we talked about the necessity of maintaining a focus on the right things if we're going to finish in the right place. And today I'd like to mention to you the value of enthusiasm, so that when you finish your goals, whatever they may be, you can celebrate big time victories rather than dull, boring wins. In 2 Samuel chapter 6, the ancient book of 2 Samuel, we read about one of my favorite heroes in Scripture, a man by the name of David. He is now the king of Israel. And this story in 2 Samuel chapter 6 involves David's attempt to bring the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark was an ancient artifact of the Israelites, and it symbolized the very presence of God. And David is attempting to bring it back to the tabernacle. And David's declaration was that he would begin his rule as king by making a priority of the presence of God. Well, the first attempt that he made at this was absolutely miserable failure. When 2 Samuel 6 describes that David, when he decided to make a second attempt, it interestingly details that he accomplished bringing the ark back to Jerusalem with gladness. With gladness. A continued reading of this occasion chronicles an exuberant and an enthusiastic David dancing before the Lord with great passion. You could say that unlike the hare who started enthusiastically but stopped, David would continue in his reign to serve the Lord with gladness, and his rule over Israel was filled with victory after victory. And when David passed away, he handed to his son Solomon a healthy kingdom as well as a plan for an immaculate temple and an abundance of wealth and success. Watch this. What started with enthusiasm ended with abundance. I'm going to say that again. What started with enthusiasm ended with abundance. We have to be honest with ourselves. There are times, and really far too often, we start the race, as it were, goals and things we're trying to achieve. We start out like the tortoise, void of passion, lacking emotion, and destined to fail. And sure, if you put one foot in front of the other, and I understand the value in that, and if you just keep plugging along, you might win the race if the hare stops to take a nap. Why depend on a napping rabbit to ensure victory when you can position yourself for emphatic victories simply by maintaining enthusiasm from start to finish? King David, he's one of my favorites. He started his reign with enthusiasm and he ended with abundance. And in the middle of his beginning and his ending, he could say, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go to the house of the Lord. You can sense his enthusiasm every single step of his journey. When we start our weeks dreading Monday and troubled over Tuesday, it is likely that our week is going to be less than fulfilling. And when we begin our days by listing all that may go wrong and all of the opposition or challenges we may face, we are destined to fail. So let me encourage you. Dig deep and find that enthusiasm. To help you, let me end this video by offering a few helpful steps to follow in order to increase enthusiasm. Number one, I want to encourage you to think positively. Push aside, especially self-doubt. Number two, define your goals. Give yourself a clear aim, something clear to shoot for. Number three, speak faith. A great man by the name of Billy Cole once said, "Speak what you seek until you see what you say." What you say absolutely matters. And number four, I want to mention to you to avoid the Eeyores in life. You know who they are. Pessimistic and negative people. Don't center your time around them. So start your day like the hare. Leave the starting line with a bounce in your step, a smile on your face, and use the given steps I just mentioned to maintain your enthusiasm. Because nobody said you have to run like the turtle to win the race. I hope you have a great day and a great week.